At a food festival in Italy 17 years ago, Jerusalem-born chef Kavok Alamian watched as a Jewish, a Christian and a Muslim chef cooked harmoniously together in the kitchen, and wondered if this unique collaboration could be built upon in his home city. Among the ethnic, religious and political tensions that divide Jerusalem, Chefs for Peace was born. The non-profit enterprise caters events that bring together diverse groups of people in the hope of facilitating a sense of cross-cultural understanding around a table of food. The chefs cook a menu of traditional dishes that reflect their individual cultures at gatherings that focus on food, family and friends, three shared values that transcend existing societal differences. Decades of instability and conflict have exacerbated the political and cultural differences in the Middle East. Tensions are boiling over at the Israel-Palestine borders. Syria and Yemen are grappling with irreparably damaging civil wars, and the Islamic State have inspired affiliates to carry out rogue terrorist attacks around the world. However, also embedded throughout the region are grassroots initiatives like Chefs for Peace, founded by everyday citizens voluntarily striving to cultivate peace and overcome conflict from the ground up.
Even if there is a superimposed peace deal, so to speak, it is not going to survive, it's not going to last unless local communities are able to live with it. And they can only live with it if they are part and parcel of the making of that particular deal.
Throughout the Syrian civil war, airstrikes by both the regime and the international coalition have been a constant threat in the daily lives of civilians across the country. Neighbourhoods often receive little to no warning of a strike until the plane is already overhead, a concept that inspired two American entrepreneurs and a Syrian coder to develop the groundbreaking app Sentry. Launched in mid-2016 by tech startup Hala Systems, the app estimates the flight path of military aircraft by analysing data submitted by volunteer ground observers, such as the type of plane and the direction it's headed. An alert then activates loud sirens stationed throughout the area and is also sent directly to the phones of affected residents. The company's research found that civilians need at least 1 minute's notice to find adequate shelter. Since the app's release, it averages a warning time of 8 minutes and 140 alerts per day, saving countless lives. Across the border, an Israeli man named Yuval Roth was attending a support group after his younger brother was killed by a Palestinian extremist, when a fellow member approached him for a favour. He asked Roth if he would drive his Palestinian brother from the West Bank to Israel for medical treatment. As Palestinians are required to cross the border by foot and be picked up by either an Israeli or a taxi, Roth obliged and was later inspired to create the life-saving initiative Road to Recovery. 25 years later, Roth now coordinates 600 Israelis who voluntarily drive Palestinians across the border to and from hospital, allowing them to access essential medical treatment, such as dialysis or chemotherapy. Each year, thousands of trips forge personal connections between Israelis and Palestinians, helping to dismantle the distrust that's ingrained in each side of the conflict. Lebanon has also struggled with similar issues of division after the country endured a 15-year civil war from 1975 to 1990. In 2014, more than 2 decades after the end of the devastating conflict, a group of ex-combatants determined to prevent the country's youth from falling into another cycle of violence established the organisation Fighters for Peace. The ex-combatants fought on both sides of the war and come from different social, religious and political backgrounds, but are united in their mission to advance Lebanon's reconciliation process. The group maintains an online archive of testimonies from the conflict, offers psychological support to former fighters, and holds regular presentations at schools and universities, using their personal experiences from the war to establish a constructive dialogue with the country's up-and-coming generation. While large-scale reform is often required in conflict-ridden states, studies have shown that community-driven initiatives encouraging cultural understanding and innovation are essential to establishing sustainable reconciliation. It's easy to miss the impact of these kind of initiatives amidst a news cycle understandably dominated by the region's instability. Nevertheless, continuing to emerge from a kitchen in the back streets of Jerusalem is the sound of an unlikely team of chefs sharing generations-old recipes, a quiet testament to the cultural diversity and historical resilience of the Middle East. We have to go to a break, but stick around as Program Manager of the non-profit enterprise Free to Feed, Nikki Doling, and the resident chef Nairan Tabai, joins us to discuss the program's cooking classes that are designed and taught by new refugees.